might have to go for that disc eventually.
Thanks, Tor. Yeah, I will definitely be checking that out. And you said that the sample on YouTube is a side by side video.
It's the full cartoon side by side. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you, Tor.
I have a question.
Yes.
Um, so if we're not going to score images tonight, should should they be resubmitted another time? And does that mean that we present them twice? How do you want to handle that?
Let's see. Yeah, how do I want to handle that? I guess we'll probably want to. Hmm. Let me think about that. We just don't really have enough to make a fair competition tonight. I don't really have a plan otherwise. But I will. Well, let's see. Does anyone have any ideas about that? Yeah, that's something I'll have to
I don't
think
know. Do
about.
we do
Maybe we'll
we do
get.
we just want to consider this week's submissions non-competitive and therefore resubmittable? I don't know.
I think they all are resubmittable, yes. The question would be when do we want to resubmit them? Would we want to do that? Include them as a part of the open next month?
That seems logical to me, because you probably don't want to do another, um, you know, I forgot the forgot the phrase, but uh, retinal rivalry, especially since the numbers were a little bit low. So I would say just make it part of the. I'd assume that would be okay anyway, without even having to say it.
So do we, but
I
does
would
that,
assume that anybody who wanted to resubmit one would just put it in the general competition for the
yeah.
next month.
Would you
Or
be okay with that, Melinda?
Well, I mean, it'd be kind of weird to discuss them twice or to vote later on something that some people may not have seen. I don't know.
It,
It's I think I'd probably prefer then just to withdraw my submissions for this month, and
okay.
then I can submit them later at whatever time seems
Uh,
appropriate.
okay, we can do that. We will have more people at our next meeting. There's only 8 of us tonight. So if you wanted to include them, there would definitely be some new, a larger audience for them next month. But if you prefer to do that, I can definitely skip over them. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just skip them. That's easier.
Okay. That sounds fine. Thank you, Melinda. I appreciate your understanding.
No problem.
All right. Um, before I start with my little presentation, does anyone have anything else? Okay, let me share my screen here. There we go. We should see the title slide. This will just take a couple minutes. A couple months ago, I mentioned that I wanted to take the show on the road. We had a lot of success at Maker Faire. That was back in 2023. And this is our table. That's Steve and Tor. And it was a very popular exhibit. We had a lot of positive feedback. And I would like to continue this. And my plan is to set up a booth, a 3D theater at street fairs, festivals, that kind of thing, and do essentially what we did here. Here we have the club's 3D TV set up. In this case, we had a couple Lume Pads on display. That's something that Jay had set up for us, and we had some giveaways also, some stickers and whatnot. I think it was at the beginning of the year, I showed this mock-up. This is an AI mock-up of what this pop-up 3D theater might look like. The idea being this would be at an event like the Solano Stroll, Maker Faire, other types. I showed a whole list of events where we might set this up. The idea was that the TV would be set up running a 3D slideshow. There would be a basket with glasses. The thing would run off of a battery. And one or two of us would be there as we were at Maker Faire to answer questions and promote the GGSS. Not the Golden Stereo Goomer Society, but the Golden Gate Stereoscopic Society. The AI just couldn't spell that out. So here is a proof of concept that I set up this weekend. And I think it's going to work great. Definitely, I need to dress it up. I did purchase this pop-up canopy. I wanted to buy it now before tariffs kicked in. The battery is one that I own, and it's below the table there. And it'll run the 3D TV for about 10 hours, which is more than enough time. As I said, I still need to dress it up. We're going to get a custom banner. That's just the old banner from the Maker Faire table. And I will be recruiting volunteers when the time comes. Likely this summer and this fall is when most of these events kick in. So I just wanted to give a status update, and I'm excited that it seems to be working. The idea is that people will just come by, grab some glasses. You don't have to go into this canopy, but it shades the TV and makes for a nice, bright image.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's something to look forward to. Okay, so we're going to hear from Steve next. Steve, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I think I need to make you a host. So bear with me while I set this up. And as I said, I'm going to attempt to stream this on our side-by-side YouTube channel. We'll see how that works. But first, let me get Steve set up here.
Yeah, I figured you'd be doing it after you did your slideshow, but I'm open to doing it now if that's what people want.
Let's go ahead and do it now, if you don't mind, because I don't want you. I want you to have all the energy that you need in order to to demonstrate this to us effectively. Steve, I have made you a co-host. I think you can share your screen if you want to give that a try. Do you know how to do that?
No.
So on Zoom, and you might need to actually click in the window to see it. On the bottom of Zoom, there's going to be a number of icons showing participants, chat, that kind of thing.
I see a share button.
That's what you click, yeah.
So let me click that.
It'll give you some options to share your whole screen or a window.
All right, probably this one, because it actually says Affinity Photo on there. And then I'll click the word that says share and see, and it looks like we've got my my screen. I can see my Affinity screen.
I can see
I'm
it
not sure
too.
about everybody else.
It looks good.
All right.
I can see your mouse cursor
And it
moving
looks like
around.
we've got my everybody else.
And I can see that this is streaming on YouTube. Of course, it's not in 3D.
All right.
I can see your mouse cursor is an option.
Got my somebody. Okay, I can hear somebody, but I can't. It's very echoey. I hope you can hear me
I can
clearly.
see that this
looks
is
good.
streaming on YouTube. Of course, it's not in 3D.
All right.
Let me mute that.
So your
but
mouse
that
cursor
is an
Something
option.
about my- Okay, I can hear somebody, but I can't. It's not very.
Okay, I think that should be fixed.
You just tell me. Should I start?
Go for it. I'm doing one last thing. I'm putting a link in the chat for anyone who's interested in seeing the Affinity website.
Ooh.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
All right. Okay, so first off, not really a tutorial. There's plenty of those on YouTube. It's more just a demonstration to show you what Affinity can do in one or two particular instances. First off, I'm going to start with a cha-cha. I will say that in most cases, Stereo Maker does a better job, but this is a tool I learned and it's pretty handy. Something called Stack, which has other uses, obviously, besides stereo. But I'm gonna go down here. Oops, I'm gonna add. I already made a mistake. Let me start over. So and I'm gonna have to scroll. So I have these two pictures. This is where I was on the last meeting. What this stack does is it takes multiple pictures and aligns them, which actually Photoshop does a pretty nice job with that too. This is Affinity's approach to that. And I'm gonna, it's set in this overall stack. I'm gonna get rid of that because in this instance, I don't need it. So I'm just gonna push these two layers to the top and delete the group. So you can see these are cha-chas, and it has a little bit of a 3D connection because I was driven to Pacific Palisades by 3D luminary Chris Cassidy, who lives in Pacific Palisades. Thankfully, his house was spared. This is not his house. This is one of his neighbors a few blocks away. So yes, the fire came scarily close to his. There's smoke, some smoke damage in his house, and the smell of smoke. But his house is livable. But he drove by, and I took these two pictures. I'm assuming this thing down here at the bottom is a car mirror or something because it's not moving properly. But that's the first thing I'm going to work on. And I'm sort of, I don't know what to call myself, a power user, but I use keys and I don't even know where some of these menu items are. But this is the in-painting tool. And I'll just make sure I'm just using the scroll wheel to zoom in. And so you can see that's a pretty handy tool. That's probably the reason I don't use GIMP, which is free, is for these tools. Although there's a lot of things that Affinity does that are superior to GIMP. But GIMP is pretty cool and, hard to beat free. So I'll go ahead and do that to the other one, although I'll probably end up cropping this out. So, of course, Photoshop has great tools like this. It just sort of compares the scene around it to try and match. Sometimes this is pretty indistinct, so I feel like I can probably get away with it in 3D. Sometimes I'll literally cut out. Here's the cutout tool, and you can adjust the amount of feathering. And you can cut out a piece and paste it on the other so that the texture matches. I think this will probably work. I wanted to mention one thing since I'm talking about the lasso tool. One thing I like, and I don't know, when I used Photoshop, it did not do this, but this is the point to point, right? We've all used that. But if you hold down the left mouse button, it becomes a lasso. Now, I remember when I used to do that, I would have to go in Photoshop. I would have to go like this: click, 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 click. And you Photoshop used for a couple of years now. Does Photoshop do that?
I don't know.
Anyway, I like it
Try
because it means that this tool has dual purposes. It can be both freehand and all I'm doing is holding down the left mouse button. And when I first discovered that, I thought, oh, that totally makes sense. All right, so back to working on this. I'm going to crop this. It's a little wide for side by side, so I'm going to take the sides out just so it'll look better. And I could easily fill in this bottom here with the in painting tool. It's called something else in Photoshop. I can't remember what it is, but it's not cloning, but it's similar to that. And I can see there. And here's another thing that when I'm building these things from Cha-Cha's, I realized that one of the things about Stereo Photo Maker, which we all love, is that it is a little hard to be precise when you're cropping because you can't zoom in. Unless somebody tells me maybe there's a way, that would be great. But so I like this because you can zoom in. It's obviously really easy to zoom in. So I'll apply that. And now here's another thing. I don't know if Photoshop does this. I don't think it did when I used it. But, I just cropped. But if I click on the cropping again, you can see that stuff is still there. So if you change your mind about the cropping, still there. Now, for the purposes of doing side by side, I find it much easier not to have those pieces there because they can get in the way because they're still there. So what I have to do is rasterize it, and that doesn't not necessarily mean anything, but it just basically kind of finalizes. When the stuff is non-destructive, I'll show you something else in just a couple seconds. So I'm just going to go in here and do this. And that finalizes the cropping. And when I hit the crop button, you can see that's now doesn't have that edge. So I have to undo if I wanted to change the cropping. Now, maybe I want to adjust the lighting on here. And I just mentioned the non-destructive. So this is, I quite often use curves. So if you can go in and you can adjust the lighting on there, brighten it up, whatever. I'm not trying to make it better. I'm just trying to show you what the tools can do. And then if you've never used this non-destructive stuff, it sits here as it says curve adjustment. So I can turn it on and off. And if I click on the graph, it's available for me to make more adjustments. So you can infinitely change that or even delete it. Now, from just experimenting with this particular picture, I discovered that the raw gave me a little better results. So before, and well, we can do that now. I'm just doing it to to, I think this is the left picture. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, this is the raw adjustment, and it just gives you some more controls here, like the shadow, because it's a little dark back in here. So if I go in and increase the shadow and then increase this black, maybe give it some contrast and clarity. In fact, when I did this experimenting, because we got to do this to 2 pictures. Well, yes and no. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. So one things that I like about this is you can save these, and I did. So right here is a saved version. You can see what that looks like now. You can also, I'm gonna have to move this here. So you can compare and you can make adjustments while you're doing that. And so, the fact that it's saved means that I can apply it to left and right eye, or I can go ahead and make it side by side, and then I can just apply this to the whole image. So I'm going to go ahead and make it side by side right now. I'm going to do, I have to move some of the zoom icons out of the way. That's why so I'm going to do this mathematically. I mean, I could just, widen this and then do it by eye, which is kind of easy. But I've started doing it this way. Are you seeing my calculator?
No, I don't see the calculator.
Okay, well, and my calculator just popped up on my screen. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting in the width of the picture, which I just copied from Affinity. And then I'll do ×2. And then I'll copy that result. And then I can close out of the calculator. And then I can just paste it in there. And then I get an image. I got to remember to apply that. And then I can push. And then I don't even have to worry about cropping it because it's exactly right. I can see now that I couldn't see when I had the 2 stacked, that I got little corners here that I probably should fix. So let me go ahead and do that. So, okay, so what I'm going to have to do is, these are 2 different pictures. So I am going to have to apply that saved raw adjustment to this. So let's go ahead and do that now. So you can see it changed that one. I don't know why, but it left us sort of a little streak here. So I'll crop that again. But I have to use my glasses to see if I did it right. Yeah. But let me do one other thing here. If I hit the tab key, are you hearing a squeaking noise? Because I am.
Intermittently.
It appears to be coming from Oleg's feed. I see his frame, his icon lighting up when the feedback starts.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah, it's probably better if everybody mutes themselves, except maybe Matt, except Matt and me. This is another tool. Again, probably exists in Photoshop. I just don't remember. But perfect for side by side. It gets rid of all the menus on the sides, so I can make the image fill up my screen, and then I can look at it in 3D and see that it's got it going on. So that's, I don't know what you need to say. I mean, this is some photo manipulation. I did do a little experiment earlier today, adding more to the sky. Actually, I was pretty pleased with it. But I was so sure it came out looking so great that I knew if I did it again, it wouldn't be as good. And then I would get really frustrated, and I would be constantly saying, "Oh, you should have seen it earlier. It was great." I'm just sure. But should we give it a try?
Sure. If it won't take,
Okay.
yeah, if
All
it's
right.
not
I'm
too
gonna
much to
add a
ask.
layer and make sure I've got a fair amount of feathering. Feathering is by pixel and not percentage. So quite often I will look at what the resolution is. So this is almost 2,000 pixels high. So having a feathering of about 72, I can be higher than that. Okay, just want to make sure it's soft. So it's soft enough that I think I can get away with just eyeballing it. In other words, not copying it. It's one of those old things you have to worry about with 3D. I'm just gonna make a blue here. I don't know how to get rid of these zoom icons. So I have to just keep moving them around. Okay, so let's just make a blue. I'll do a fill. Yeah, I'm just using the keys, but they're pretty straightforward. All right, so that's a blue, and then maybe multiply. Doesn't look as, yeah, I knew I would never match what I came up with before. Just not as good. But then I did this. I used the eraser tool. I really I don't know where it is. I think it's one of these. Yeah,
There you
it
go.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're
And
getting the idea.
then I went, you got all these adjustments here, hardness, amount, as you're doing it, this is the opacity has no effect on how fast you move the cursor, and especially want to keep that low. And then, make the clouds look prettier.
This is one of your secret techniques that you're showing us.
Is it? Maybe. Obviously, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to copy. So, but yeah, then I'll throw it out of focus.
Yeah.
So it looks a little better. And then, yeah, I may as well do the whole. And you could tell me when you run out of time, because, and then just this is a keystroke I use all the time. It's just the duplicate key, and then I'll just I'm holding down the shift key, which constrains it up and down, and then I'm just guessing. Then if it's actually that's kind of back there.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
All right, that's not too bad. Yeah, it
So
was
Steve,
definitely better before, but this is believable.
I think you definitely got your point across. That's a very interesting
Yeah.
technique.
So, just to show you that there are some really nice tools here. Like I've said over and over again, it's not meant to compete with Photoshop. Photoshop's an amazing tool. It's not, you pay for it once. Photoshop pissed me off when I used to pay for it and use it, and then they said, "Oh, you got to keep paying for it." I don't mind paying for the upgrade. Affinity is definitely a little slow about the upgrades. It usually takes 2-3 years before they do an upgrade, but I'm very happy with what I can do with this program. And they don't give you an upgrade price. It's not like, oh, you already own it, so it's only, you know, an extra 20. But it's so cheap. It's under $100, so you know, you just buy it again. And I didn't buy the first upgrade. I skipped an upgrade. That's another way to save money. So anybody have any questions or anything they need to see? Especially Tor. Did this get anywhere in the vicinity of solving your problem?
I mean, it's given me some places to start. I didn't know about the stack thing, which seems to be the way you get your multi-layer object so you can work with it. And
I confess I don't use the stack that often. Like I said, I usually use Stereo Photo Maker. Sometimes Stereo Photo Maker, usually Stereo Photo Maker is a little better. Sometimes this is better. You never know.
yeah, I mean, as long as we're talking about this app, did I see that Stack automatically aligned the images, or is that a separate step?
The stack. One of the things it does is it automatically aligns the images. It does, you know, it studies what's in the image and tries to line it up. There's obviously a lot of guesswork involved, but it did a decent job here. I think this is okay. Yeah.
Steve,
Yeah.
I mentioned it before, but I'm not a big fan of the Adobe subscription plan too. But if you enroll in a free BCC Berkeley City College course, and there are a couple I can recommend, you can get the complete suite, the Adobe suite, for about $99 a year, as opposed to several hundred. So that's what I've been doing for the past few years.
Yeah, you mentioned that before, and yeah, I mean, I had the advantage of, I mean, I've been teaching for decades, and I got this stuff either cheap or at a teacher price or either free.
Right.
I'm past I'm past Photoshop. I'm going to stick with this.
Just wanted to throw it out there.
No.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about this. You didn't. I think you don't even attend the classes.
He's the teacher that I'm friends with is very lenient about it, and he likes it when I show up and make an appearance, and I've done it a couple times, but it is a big time commitment from where I live. So
it's Berkeley City College.
It's Berkeley City College. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's 10 minutes from me.
Yeah, so that's why I'm mentioning it, because I know several people are a lot closer than my 2-hour round trip drive.
I'm right here in town.
And I posted in the chat that Stereo Photo Maker, if I'm not mistaken, does have the zoom feature that you're looking for. In fact, there's a quick key, F2 and F3, that'll zoom in and out.
Great. I figured, I just didn't know how to do it.
I mean, I know maybe 10% of Stereo Photo Maker, and but yeah, it's a wonderful program.
And
yeah, and I only know probably less than 10% of this program. I mean, you know, I look at these menus and I say, I don't know what any of these look. I don't know what most of those things do. I mean, buried in here somewhere is like this. Is it Pro? But it's where you can do the macros. So everything that you do, every keystroke, including drawing with the mouse, can be recorded and repeated. It's in here.
there it is,
somewhere.
macro.
Well, there's that. Yeah, but
That's
there's
different.
another one. Anyway, I'm not going to do that now. It's a little time consuming just to set it up once, and I don't use it often. I haven't used it in about a year, so it's just cool that it's there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Steve. I didn't realize that you could do so much outside of Stereo Photo Maker using Affinity. Melinda, there's a comment from Melinda in the chat too. I think this is also regarding zooming, and the F key scales to fit the window. Very helpful when finished zooming around.
Well, I think I did preface that saying there's probably a way to do it. I just didn't know that.
How many years have you used Affinity, Steve?
Probably 3 years now.
So you're committed.
Yeah, that's a part of it. I mean, I don't know that I want to go back to Photoshop. Um, there's always like, what if like that teacher no longer is around, and then you're stuck with learning photo. I mean, the big commitment is not the cost of the software; it's the time you spend. And once you learn, I feel like, oh, if I took that class, it would not be for Photoshop; it'd be for Maya, because I'm having a hard time getting my head around uh, Blender.
Hmm.
But now that Flo won the Oscar,
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to learn Blender. I don't like it. But you don't like any, I didn't like, well, I can't say I didn't like Infinity. I kind of took to it. I didn't like GIMP. GIMP rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, oh, this is not good. And then
Blender.
I kept at it, and I said, oh, it's not too bad. GIMP has a feature that this one doesn't have. When you like set your values, colors, whatever, it has a button that will repeat that. This you have to kind of remember it. You have to kind of say, "Oh, I'm going to reuse this." But with GIMP, you don't have to do that. So it's kind of nice. But this has so many other features, especially the. I'll show you one other thing. Um, it's kind of similar to what I did at the beginning to remove the edge of the car. This is that one. They call it the in-painting tool. They have the patch tool, and you can take an area, and you can. I might be in the wrong one. Let's see. This is, yeah. If I'm going to do it over here, I mean, I don't have any idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can't make this look like that. So you can just put some other area in there. So you have some control over it. Whereas the in painting, it's really looking around and saying, okay, I'm going to make that look as best I can. Now, and I know there's a tool like this in Photoshop. And one of the things that, again, I'm not sure, but this has these controls. You can expand it and rotate it. And I don't remember that being the case. I do remember if I had like an area of color I needed to repeat, I would physically make my image wider, put that color in there so I could use this tool. And maybe they've improved it since then, but that's something that comes in handy. You can just make this into whatever texture you like, and it kind of blends it. You can see that you can't see the edges.
Well, thank you, Steve. This has been extremely informative. Oh, I have one question. I see on the
Yeah.
website that this runs on desktops and tablets. What are you running this on a Mac? Are you running this on a tablet, on a PC? What's your system?
This is a PC, Windows 11. I haven't run on anything else. I have heard about on a tablet. I don't have a tablet. Still looking at the 3D one,
The Lume Pad?
Luma. Yeah,
Well, it'll still be out there
but
for you, Steve, if you
haven't
ever
haven't taken the plunge yet.
bite the bullet. All right. Well, thank you, Steve. Does anyone have any further questions for Steve about Affinity? I have.
And yeah, anybody who has if something comes up or you can start using it, feel free to reach out to me. I am very happy to help one-on-one. Anybody who's wants to take the plunge and help go help break Photoshop's monopoly. I mean, it's okay. I've actually met John Knoll. He's a really nice guy, so I don't want to. I'm not going to badmouth Photoshop.
Well, don't badmouth Photoshop 1.0. It's okay to badmouth Photoshop Creative Cloud.
I can, Photoshop's a great program. Adobe sucks.
There you go. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Adobe couldn't make Stereo Photo Maker. They would add all sorts of useless stuff and charge $10 a month for it. They wouldn't be able to pull it off.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Steve. Let's give him a virtual round of applause here. There we go. Thank you, Steve. We have our slideshow up next. Give me a minute. I need to swap the YouTube streams. And Steve, if you could stop sharing your screen.
I'm going to bow out here, but have fun, folks.
Thanks, Melinda. We'll see you in April.
Yep. See you soon.
All right, Matt, help me out here. I'm looking at the share. Maybe I can just uncheck this.
Or I can try to share it myself. I'm going to replace the current share. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll be able to unshare you. Let me do this right now.
Okay.
There we go. So if you're following along on Zoom, you should see one of our title slides. Just give me a second here to get this set up again. This is kind of an experiment. Bear with me here. Okay. Oh, what did I do? Okay, I think that's working as well as it's going to. Now, Oleg, we have 4 retinal rivalry stereo photos by you. I will need you to unmute yourself because I did mute you.
Still waiting for the YouTube feed to come up here.
Yeah, I'm, let's see what I can do here.
Can you hear me?
Hi,
Yes.
Oleg. Give me just a second here. I need to set up. Okay, that's not right.
Matt, while you're getting set up, I just remembered a couple of things I wanted to mention about Affinity.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so it's very easy. I was going to do that, but I just ended up just showing you the stack, but it's very easy to load a picture. You don't have to do it with the stack unless you want to align several pictures. That's all. I just wanted to mention those two things.
Thanks, Steve. Okay. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share while I get this set up? Thank you for your patience. Anyone seen any good 3D movies?
There is one that's going to be shown, or if it has been shown already, at down in LA. Eric is showing one that I had forgotten about, and it looks great from the trailer. And I'm wondering, I noticed online there are some people selling Blu-rays of it, but it seems to only be region B.
What movie?
I'm just pulling it up, and hopefully I can tell you that in just a quick moment. Here we go. Yeah, it's called The Young and Prodigious T.S.
Oh yeah.
Which I'd heard about many years ago, but I've forgot about it.
Yeah,
We actually watched that as a club.
I don't think I've seen it.
Actually, I think I got my copy from Eric.
Uh,
I have it on a thumb drive.
Oh, I'd love to see it if that's possible.
I have the Italian Blu-ray.
I'll have to brush up on my Italian.
It does it does alter the titles. The titles are changed in 3D to the Italian titles, and there's no way around that. But otherwise, you can watch it in English. It's a very good movie. Native 3D, fun cast, some really beautiful photography, a lot of Canadian locations.
Yeah, I saw the trailer, and the trailer looks stunning. It was just beautifully composed, great shots. I could only imagine the 3D.
It's a beautifully done film. And the reason it's not better known is the director refused to have it seen other than in 3D.
Right.
Good for them.
Has anyone seen this Glass Web by any chance? I've seen it for sale. I heard it was only in 3D. An old Hollywood movie.
I saw it at Expo 3. It's a terrific little picture.
Oh,
And,
okay.
I'm very excited for the Blu-ray coming out because it's a 3D Film Archive doing their usual restoration work.
I might get that one.
Yeah, very, very well shot. Jack Arnold, same guy did Creature in the Black Lagoon. Really good eye for 3D.
And the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, too.
No,
it's Don Siegel. But I think he did Came from Outer Space.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers is one of the best science fiction movies I've ever seen. It's a good story.
I love it.
Being relevant.
Yeah, the old one, Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
So the Glass Web is the story good as well as the 3D?
Yeah, it's a little suspense thriller. It's set in the world of TV in the 50s, so it's fun that way. You got Edward G. Robinson and John Forsythe.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We're back up and running. Tor, let me know how the picture is on your 3D TV. I hope it's not too distorted.
Okay. I'm still seeing the card for the Affinity Photo Workshop.
Yeah, that's what you should expect. And that's actually a 2D card.
Right.
Thanks, Oleg, for waiting. Let me get my list here. So we have a block of 4 stereo photos. with the Retinal Rivalry theme by Oleg. Oleg, do you want to set us up and explain what we're going to be seeing here? Meanwhile, I'll share my screen.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with the rivalry, so I thought, well, I'll take a picture in the daytime and one in the nighttime and see if I could merge it. And so the first picture that I sent in was that, and I couldn't merge the 3D. I don't know if anybody else can.
It's coming up right now. You should see it on your screen if you're following along on Zoom. This is my patio, daytime left, nighttime right.
Not seeing it on the YouTube yet.
Should be
I'm
popping up
previewing
in
it
a
on
moment now.
iPad here. It's a little problematic I'm seeing the nighttime shot looking like it's just kind of late afternoon.
Okay, I got it on the TV, and yeah, it works. It's interesting because the shadows on the ground are all in the daytime, so they sort of float in 2D because they don't have any reference points in the dark shot. But the chairs are a good place to anchor onto, and the umbrella is fairly consistent.
Yeah, I couldn't merge it at all. So at least
Yeah,
I have a bad left eye.
the umbrella it looks red in the left eye and orange in the I guess red in the day and orange in the night picture to me on my monitor.
Yeah, there was different lighting.
And then
Right.
for the night shot, did you lighten the sky, or? Because I have a bright sky in both eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I did not make that kind of adjustment. This is the raw picture.
Huh.
The next one will be where I try to match the two sides.
Well, let's take a look at that. This is my patio, daytime, nighttime, best fit. This will be popping up on YouTube in a few moments. So what kind of processing did you do to this version, Oleg?
Tried to get the colors the same. The shadows that in the daytime shot I made very light, so it's easier for me to see it in 3D. But I don't think I'll ever do that again.
How are you viewing it, Oleg? Are you viewing this on your 3D TV?
Right now, no. For some reason, I'm not getting the picture.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you it works on my Lume
My
Pad.
3D TV doesn't work. I haven't tried it again.
Okay.
I've got a lot of problems, including my air conditioning isn't working.
Hell, it never rains, but it pours. Well, Oleg, one of these days, if you want to get together, if you want a Lume Pad demo, we'll get you up and running. It's Android, so it's its own thing.
Yeah, the problem seems to be that I waited a long time before I opened the box even. And what it did is it worked for about 30 seconds. and then now it doesn't accept. I think it got discharged, and there's doesn't seem to be any way to wake it up again.
Well, maybe we can take a look at it. In the meantime, you've got two more photos from this series. You've got a daytime normal presentation and a nighttime normal presentation. So are these the
That's
straight day shots, straight night shots?
That's right.
Let's take a look at these.
I like those much better. You won't be seeing me.
Well, I can tell you that I can definitely see these on the Lume Pad.
I'm looking at my Lume Pad as well, but it's very soft focus for some reason. I don't know if there's something I'm not doing.
Oh, are you using the YouTube stream on the Lume Pad?
Yeah.
So that's a known bug with the LeiaTube app.
Right.
And what I recommend is you try the Twitch stream on the Lume Pad, which is what I'm using. And
Okay.
it's very sharp.
I don't know if do you need to install Twitch or that's...
You don't need to. You can use the website. And let me put a link in the chat for you.
Well, I've got it side by side up on the Lume Pad. I just need to turn it into 3D here.
Well, if you can share it to
not
the
seeing a
LeiaTube
share
app.
button.
Yeah, not
Oops.
every app not every app has a share command, icon, whatever it is. But for what it's worth,
It has a live button and full screen, but I'm not seeing sharing.
well, take a look in the chat. There's a link to an article with specific instructions to use the Twitch stream on the Lume Pad. And it works pretty well. Frankly, I think it works better than the YouTube stream. Of course, we won't stop the YouTube stream, but the Twitch stream is really specific. I'm running it specifically for the Lume Pad. Oleg, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak over your photo. We've got the daytime version up. Was there anything else you wanted to add about this version? I think it's very nice.
I like the straight shot better. I don't like to use that. What do we call it?
The retinal rivalry, yeah. The retinal rivalry turned out to be a...
So this is just an unprocessed daytime pair here?
The last two pictures are the way I would normally take that photo.
Let's load up the last.
So there's no intended retinal rivalry in this one we're looking at right now?
No,
Okay.
not the
All
last
right.
two pictures.
Coming up next is the night version. This is the nighttime normal presentation. Well, Oleg, I think it was a worthy experiment, and I appreciate you sharing it with us. It turned out that retinal rivalry may have been too challenging a subject. I'll consider that
For me,
next
yes.
time. We do have 4 more photos for tonight's theme, and they're by Bob. We'll move on to those. And if we'd like, since we'll end up concluding a little early, I have some open division photos from Roberto and also Bob Bloomberg that I'd like to show also if we're up for it. But until then, I'm going to skip through Melinda's submissions. We will see these at our next meeting in April. And we're going to jump ahead to photo number 9 by Bob. And the title is Alien 3D Viewer. And this will be popping up on YouTube.
I'm not seeing any. What I'm seeing is now showing Affinity Photo Workshop, and it hasn't changed.
It might be paused. You might want to tap the screen or click it and confirm that it's playing. I think you've paused the stream.
How do I unpause it?
Are you using a tablet or a computer?
Computer.
Okay. What happens when you click it? Does it reveal any controls? Does it show you like a play or a pause control?
Or if you hit the space bar.
Space bar. That doesn't do it.
Yeah, okay. Or enter. I don't know.
Enter. Let's try enter.
No.
No, that doesn't do it.
Are you using the YouTube stream, Oleg?
No, this is through the internet.
This is the Zoom screen share?
Yes.
Let's see. Is anyone else also seeing that title slide?
I have a binocular shot on the Zoom and on the YouTube.
I just want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Let's see. Let me reshare.
Oh, now I see you.
Okay, I think maybe I was sharing the wrong thing. Let's see.
Now I'm seeing you.
Okay. Did that come up for you, Oleg?
Briefly, now I just see a blank screen.
Okay.
Yeah, the Zoom just says Golden Gate has started screen sharing.
Oh, sorry
Yeah, it's
about
just
that.
spinning.
Boy, we've had a lot of technical difficulties tonight. I think, let's see.
There we are. I'm getting it now.
Are you getting it on Zoom?
Anymore? I'm getting it on my iPad, but it just left and I'm getting a different left, right. There we go.
Okay.
Now I'm seeing it.
How about you, Oleg? Is it working for you?
I'm seeing nothing.
Okay. Well, let me try this one more time. I'm going to...
There you are. I see you.
Yeah. That's right.
Filling the screen.
Oleg, are you seeing all of us or just Matt?
Pardon me?
Oleg, are you seeing all of us or just Matt?
No, I'm seeing, as he's changing pictures, I see the picture change.
So you're only seeing the person who's speaking one at a time?
Now I'm seeing black.
Yeah, sorry, Oleg. I'm not sure what's happening. I am sharing the screen. Let me try to log in as another user. In the meantime, Bob, why don't you describe Alien 3D Viewer?
This was a viewer. I don't know if it's actually a viewer. There it is. I discovered in Lubeck at one of the ISU conventions. I think it just might be some kind of telescope that's on the street. I should have made it a little bit more contrasty. I put in some color in the eyepieces, different in the left and right, but it's not different enough for my eyes. It's not having the effect I wanted, which is to vibrate and give a kind of an alien glow. But it was done late last night, so.
It's there. It's subtle.
Yeah.
I just assumed they were iridescent.
Yeah, I just didn't have time to fool with it and add little glows on one of them or light rays coming out. But I like the piece a lot. Very clean looking. I like the machined quality of it.
It looks friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, it does have kind of a Pixar look about it.
Well, thank you, Bob.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought maybe I was looking at like a lens coating that was just reflecting different colors from different angles or something. It's got a kind of a natural look.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Ray in the Zone by Bob. And Oleg, I'm still looking into this issue for you.
And you've got your pointer in the middle of my
sorry
screen.
about that. There we go.
There we are. Thank you. Yeah, I thought Retinal Rivalry always reminds me, whoops, I've got a low battery thing going on my iPad, so I may not be with us much longer here. Oh. And now I'm getting a spinning wheel from your end and a black screen.
Huh.
I'm seeing Ray.
Oh, I'm not seeing Ray anymore. But Ray, there he is. In addition to converting 3D comics, hence the pattern in his face there, Ray was the biggest proponent of retinal rivalry that I know. So he would someone providing a soundtrack.
Yes.
Sorry
Sorry
about
about
that.
that.
All right, didn't mean to step on you there. Please, Bob, continue.
And I had my way with it.
See, you've swapped the color of the lenses between left and right, which does, I think, create the vibrating effect you were going for previously.
Yeah, yeah. And we miss old Ray.
Met him once. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
I met him once, and I felt like I had known the guy my whole life. He had that kind of charisma. So, Bob, how did you make this? Was he wearing these anaglyph glasses, or did you add these anaglyph glasses?
I believe he was wearing the glasses. I just swapped out the colors. I believe, let me see, maybe I added those. It did this a while back, and I don't see the side frames of the glasses. So, yeah, I may have added those. And just eliminated the lenses 50% so that his eyes would shine through, and then dropped in the color. And it was a straight shot. Then just for this special category, I went in and swapped out the colors to give it some retinal rivalry.
looking at
works
this,
really well.
yeah, it is. Looking at this photo on the Anaglyph stream, he looks like he's wearing transparent cardboard glasses.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work in that.
It's a funny effect. Thanks, Bob.
Sure.
Next from Bob is Tentacles Disco.
I have a feeling this one may be a bit subtle too. Yeah. This is a mirror shot of a sculpture exhibit. If you look at the left half of either the left or the right pair, you can see what the exhibit looked like. And then I just mirrored it in Stereo Photomaker and added the disco ball last minute at about 5 minutes to 12 last night. And that was just a 2D shot of a disco ball I grabbed off the web, and then I went in, copied it, changed the coloring on it, and then selected the right one and used the warp tool to just grab the middle of it and pull it in to give it a little depth. And I haven't seen it on a big screen, so I mean, it looks okay on my iPad. But
the manipulation on the sphere actually makes it look like a cone. It reminds me of the bullet sculpture we saw last week.
yeah, you're right. But I was too sleepy to go in and remember how to turn a 2D into a sphere in Photoshop.
But I like the color shift. Again, it's very subtle, but it feels like we're looking at something iridescent.
And I just like the way the two organic sculptures look like they're dancing and touching noses or fingers or whatever those appendages are. But I could imagine this as a video with the ball spinning and everybody dancing and cavorting.
Oh, well, thank you, Bob.
Sure.
Now, Bob, I think I only 3 special subject photos from you. Is that correct?
I believe so.
And then,
I'm trying to remember what I sent.
Yeah, I just want to confirm. Now, that actually is the Retinal Rivalry slideshow for tonight. So I hope you understand why I didn't have a poll tonight.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't really work in this case. We will see Melinda's next month.
I think I'd like to hold off on mine as well because I'm
Sure.
running out of juice here, and I may have to leave. Also, I have to fix my partner a little dinner here.
You got it. We had a horned frog on leaf and spaded toad frogs by you. We'll save those for April.
Yeah, sounds good.
And Roberto, I hope we haven't put you to sleep.
No, don't worry, it's okay.
Hey.
Now, last week was a little bit later for me, but with daytime saving, now it's earlier for me.
Oh,
that's right.
Good to know. So I did receive your 2 photos, and I have them prepared to show, but would you like me to show them tonight, or would you like me to wait until our next meeting, which is the April 1st, a couple weeks from now, when we'll have larger attendance, a bigger audience? What's your preference?
Don't worry, tonight it's okay for me.
Okay. I'm going, in that case, to skip ahead. We have 2 from Roberto. These are open subject. These aren't specifically Retinal Rivalry, but they're so nice, I did want to enjoy them. And these will be popping up on our YouTube and Twitch streams in just a minute. The title of the first one is Afterlife Ride. Roberto, tell us what we're seeing and how you made this.
Well, I took this last year when the Day of the Dead here in Mexico. We have a lot of celebration around October. So I don't remember which one was this. There we have like Katrina's demonstration day and the Daylight and Zombie Day, something like that. I don't remember which which is one, but I took this in one of those events. And this was like a classic car. I believe it was a Cadillac or something like that, with these two guys with a custom a skeleton makeup. So this one I really like it because the glass pop-ups on the 3D photo, and also like the glass gives like a little bit of contrast. And the transparency also helps to the depth of the photo.
It serves as a nice frame too.
There's reflections on the chrome as well. Yeah.
Maybe if I could contrast it a little bit more, it could be in the contest tonight.
I think there might be a vertical misalignment on this. Do you mind if I run auto align?
Sure.
Let's see if it makes a difference, and I'll run it on all three.
Yes, I took it with Fuji, so I never fix it in PhotoMaker.
Let's see what this does.
Sure.
Yeah, there is a 13 pixel vertical discrepancy. Let me just do this on
Left eye is higher than the right.
Yeah.
the other ones. I think this will make it a little bit easier to view.
There you go.
And
All of a sudden, I see the screen.
huh.
What did you do?
I think, I don't know. I'd love to take credit for it, Oleg, but maybe the fates decided to make it work for you.
It worked.
Much better.
Now, when I ran auto align, it did adjust the
much easier to digest.
horizontal position.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, you got it.
Love the makeup. Wonderful.
Yes, we have a lot of this kind of folklore around that time of the year, so
Oh, yeah.
we take advantage of that.
Dios de los Muertes.
That's right.
If I can make one suggestion, I'd love to see his arm sticking out the window a little bit. If you could add a band of black at the bottom and cut out his elbow, so he's kind of resting on the frame.
Okay, outside, like popping up.
Yeah, because he's looking right at us, kind of defiantly.
It would be, yeah, I will work on it.
I think it would also help because the car is so white and the windshield is so white, it might focus more on them.
Okay. Yes. A little less aggressive with the brightness.
But they are wonderful. Very spooky.
It's so great that the passenger certainly is looking right at us, looking right at the camera, and that's kind of where my eye lands naturally anyway. She's sort of framed by the driver and the window.
Yes, I have a lot of pictures of this kind. Maybe in the next on April I will show you more.
Please do. Yes.
Can't wait.
Can't
Yes.
wait.
But I thought that using the Fuji, I didn't need the alignment of with the photo maker, but now I see that it could work better with a little adjustment.
Yeah, the lenses on my Fuji are regularly misaligned. I always have to do an adjustment.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, my Fuji W3 was the same way. It's just a quality of the camera. You could probably fine tune the alignment more than I did. Running auto align did a
Is
pretty
there a lot
good
of
job.
competition among the makeup artists? Are there people who guard their techniques jealously, or?
Wow. Yes, I believe I have, but I believe it's a regular photo that I took. But I took all. We have a really big avenue here in Mexico City that it's named Reforma, and there they set up their makeup stands, and it's everything is full with people with a makeup and costumes and everything. So, yep, it's really competitive.
It would be fun to do a 3D conversion on the makeups and make them look really skeletal.
It could be like maybe for the next time I will take a before and after without the makeup and with the makeup and see the contrast with a challenge, like with the retina challenge.
Yeah,
that'd be a great project. Yeah. All right, thanks, Roberto. And then we have one more from Roberto.
Yes.
Hopefully before my 5% of my ad gives out.
Still with us.
Hang in there. This is the last one. Baubles is the title.
Yes. This one I took it in a museum here in Mexico. They have a lot of installations like this. Like they have a VW Beetle also in an exploded version, like all the parts, the components exploded. So this is like a really nice exhibition for this kind of pictures.
Did you take a shot of the Volkswagen?
Yes.
Oh, good. Can't wait.
The problem with that is that I didn't have the Sony, the RXO, so I took it with the Fuji also, and the field of view of the Fuji it's a little bit narrower, so it's a little bit cramped in the photo. So I didn't like it a lot. Maybe if I had the RXO because it's a wider view, it could be worked better. But I will chase the artist and maybe get it in another location.
Great subject.
Matt, my screen locked up again. Are you changing things?
Well, I did just run auto alignment on these three. I thought that I did see there was a bit of a vertical misalignment. I wonder if that's what did it. Are you still unable to see it?
What I'm seeing is the first picture.
I've got the gallery, and the alignment just took hold of YouTube.
Yeah, sorry you're having this this glitch, Oleg. I'm not sure what's causing it.
It's something with my all of my electronics are not working right.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, if you'd like, let's touch base. Maybe we can spend some time, and I could diagnose the issue. Maybe it's something with your Wi-Fi or something. I'm not sure. But Roberto, I did also run auto align on this.
Okay.
For the same reason, and I think It is a bit improved. Again, you might want to try it on your own and kind of fine tune it a little bit. But it's an excellent photo. What a great
Yes.
subject for 3D.
Sure. Yes, I will try this with the stereo photo maker, and also we'll try the stack version of the Affinity and see which one works better.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting experiment. Tell us, is this also a Fuji W3 shot, or is this a Sony?
Yeah. No. Both. My second RXO, I got it this year. So this one, these two photos were taken with the Fuji, the W3.
Well, it's a great camera.
Yes. The only thing that I don't like is because editing with the file from the W3, it's really easy to blow the pixels. So I rather work with a raw file with the RxO. So it lets you work better with the raw file.
Yeah, the Fuji does also have very small sensors, which are great for depth of field, but not so great in low light, or you're certainly not going to get a raw file out of a Fuji. Although I have to say, the illumination is really nice in this for an indoor Fuji W3 shot.
Actually, I edited because it was a little bit flat because Fuji the Fuji process, it was more white with the walls were a little bit wider, so the spheres didn't pop up like this one. I have to edit it a little bit.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Well, Roberto, I look forward to seeing more of these April 1st. If you wanted to resubmit these, that's fine, or send us 4 new ones, that's fine too. We enjoyed these tonight, and these will also be on the recorded YouTube stream, Anaglyph and Side by Side, for anyone to enjoy who couldn't make it to the meeting.
Perfect.
All right.
I also bought a second DJI Action 2. So maybe I wanted to take more photos with like a macro, closer, but with the closer sensor and closer lens with the DJI Action 2. I will try these 2 weeks, and maybe I will submit some of my my examples of this new setup.
Please do. What camera is this? This is a macro
DJI,
setup you're talking about?
DJI Osmo Action 2. I bought. I have one, and I bought a second one. And I am trying to make like a video for this Google Cardboards, and I want to try some videos, and also close-ups for macro photography, like, I don't know, flowers and that kind of stuff.
Well, I can't wait to see the results. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know how that goes. If you have anything in 2 weeks, we'd love to see it. And if you want to show us the cameras also, we'd love to see those too. You don't have to take a picture of the cameras. You can just show them to us on Zoom, but be very interested to see that rig.
Maybe I will take a 3D picture of the setup.
You could do that. You could do that, yes. Love to see it.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. This was not the smoothest meeting tonight. We had some technical glitches, and definitely not the most popular special subject that I've chosen. So we'll see how Mergers does next month. I'll hype that a bit so that we have more participation. I'd like to thank Steve again for his Affinity demo. We've been talking about Affinity for so long. It's great to actually see it in action and kind of see your workflow also. We all work differently. We all use the same or similar tools, but we all have our own approach. Even with Stereo Photo Maker, everyone has, their own procedures, their own workflow. And like we were saying, I certainly don't use more than 10% of Stereo Photo Maker. I mean, there are commands in Stereo Photo Maker, I don't even know what they do. And I don't think they're even documented. There's a lot of advanced stuff there. So thank you for bearing with me through tonight's meeting. Our next meeting, as I said, is Tuesday, April 1st. Our special subject is mergers. If you're not clear what mergers is, we have not had this special subject. There's a description on the website, and of course we have until the second Tuesday of April for our special. So we'll talk about this in more detail, and I'll show some examples also. There's one more thing that I wanted to announce. The 45th Southern Cross International Exhibition of Stereo Photography is now accepting entries. The closing date is March 17th, just a few days away. Let me put this in the chat. Everyone on this call, I would encourage you to enter. There are two divisions. There's an open division, and there's a scapes division, landscapes, cityscapes, seascapes, that kind of thing. But let me put this link in the chat. And I'll also take this opportunity to announce that I earned my 3rd PSA star. And I did that by entering, what did I just do? Boy, I am having all sorts of trouble tonight. Anyway, I earned that by entering in as many international exhibitions as I possibly could. Okay, there we go. That link is in the chat. So be sure to check it out if you're interested. All right. If there aren't any more announcements, if no one has anything else to share, I'm going to call this meeting. Again, thank you for sticking with me through the uncommonly high number of technical glitches tonight, and I will see everyone on Tuesday the 1st. All right. Good night, everyone. See you then.
All right.